Hi, friends, and welcome to the final podcast of CricVidya's IPL podcast series. And today we'll discuss Chennai Super Kings. Today is 16th August, the day after Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Suresh Raina have announced their retirement. And we have a very emotional fan with us as well. His name is Bill Gates, Billu. And those of you who are on Twitter would know him quite well as a hardcore CSK and MS Dhoni fan. And he joins us today to discuss the CSK team and what squad and what 11 they can hope to play in UAE. Hi, Billu. Welcome to the podcast.
Uh, Thank you, Sumit. Thanks for the opportunity.
And we would like to know how you're feeling today.
Yeah, it's been quite emotional, and the retirement coming from two greats and my favorites as well. It's quite an emotional one, but we should need to move on at one stage, and I hope it will take some time, but I will move on.
Yeah. And we're also joined by Balaji, who's our permanent guest for this series. Hi, Bala. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Sunit. Hi, glad to be here.
Yeah. So we'll start with the team analysis and then we'll move to the other discussion. So, Billu, how we do it is that we start with the top order, then we move to the middle order, and then the bowlers. So, we'll probably start with you, and maybe you can tell us what is your top order that you think that CSK should field in the upcoming IPL.
Yeah, well, what CSK would be planning for bringing out the 11 is. The players who will play spin well, and almost all the players who has picked in CSK has been good against spin. And what's the issue? It's been their recent form for the past IPL as well. And the batsman, the top four would be Watson will be for sure, and Raidu will be opening or not. That will be an issue. And number three, Suresh Raina any day, and number five, number six, number seven is something. It's been set permanent for this season too. Dhoni, Jadeja, and Bravo, and the tailenders. It's something different, and it's all up to Dhoni how he's planning to make his run.
Sorry, I missed your openers. Can you just repeat them?
Um, for openers, my first preference will be I'm gonna consider the experience because these two played the last two seasons. So Watson and Raidu for me.
Okay. Watson and Raidu. Okay.
Yeah, number four is something. It's just being fishy for me because bringing out either Imran Tahir or Duplessis will just sticks to me. So I better going for an Indian. So Kedar Jadhav will be my number four.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that's fine.
Okay.
That will be my top order. First preference 11. So first preference top order. So the days goes by and based on their performance, it will change definitely.
Sure. So we move on to Bala. Bala, how do you see this team and what will be your playing 11, at least
Yeah,
the top
so I
7?
will start with Watson. He is a sure starter for CSK, and there's no way Dhoni is going to drop him as far as I see. So number two will be Raidu will be my second opener along with Watson because that's the best place you can use Raidu. Raidu in the last season didn't get set position to bat it, and he was shuffled between number four and opening, which affected his performance, I feel. And this season, the whole of CSK squad is inactive, to be precise. But I still feel Raidu can clear the field and take the pressure off Watson, like what he did in 2018, which was a breakout season for him. So that will be my openers. And number three is obviously Reina. So there's no brainer in that. No other choices as well. So Reina will be my number three.
Okay. So I've gone a little differently because I think that their lower middle order lacks a little bit of nip, and that's why I would like Raidu to be at number 4. So I have actually gone with the youngster. Uh, Watson will open, and along with that, Gaikwad. And for me, number 3 will be Raina. Obviously, Vijay is also there, who can come in if Gaikwad is not really able to perform. But that is what my top order looks like. So, Bala, your middle order, because Billu has already given us
Yes.
his.
Yes, so number 4 for me will be Kedar Jadhav, because if he is playing, then there is no better position for him to be in the playing 11 other than number 4. And I hope that Dhoni will use him in bowling as well, because last season World Cup was approaching, and Kedar Jadhav was kind of injury prone, and some inside news said that management didn't want Dhoni to use Kedar Jadhav as a bowler, but this season he is free to bowl as well. So a couple of overs here and there might be handful for Dhoni. So at number 4 I will have Kedar, and at number 5 the captain himself, MS Dhoni. He's the heart of CSK, and number 6 is Jadeja, and number 7 will be Bravo. So that will be my top 7. Bravo and Jadeja pick themselves, but also Bravo has faded away very badly with the bat, at least in the last few years, and Jadeja has never had a good T20 stats. But still, that's how CSK works. They somehow manage to, you know, pull things back with this lower middle order. So
Yeah.
this will be my top 7.
Okay. So I think I also have something similar, just that I have pushed the people a little bit down so that the middle order becomes stronger. So Ambati Raidu for me at 4, and then Jadhav, Bravo, Dhoni. And I will have Jadeja coming in a little late, and he can be a floater kind of a player for me, where in case a left-hander is required, and so he can go up the order. So that will be my top 7. So below we move to you again, and you can give us your pollers.
Jadeja and Bravos there, so they can give us at least 6 overs for us. And with Luki and Ngidi missing the previous season and his performance, and if we consider his performances at 2018, he might be a sure starter for us.
Hmm.
So my first overseas ball will be Ngidi, and then I bring Imran Tahir as well, and my two bowlers will be the one will be the Deepak Chahar for sure, and based on the preference, I go for Harbhajan Singh or Piyush Chawla. First, I go for Piyush Chawla because he could give some runs, and he's a good pinch hitter comparing to Harbhajan Singh. He didn't perform well for the last 2 seasons with the bat, and we can't expect from him to. So I'm going for Chawla.
Okay. Bala, your 4 bowlers.
Sorry, I was speaking in mute. So number 8 will be Deepak Chahar, who can also contribute to the bat. So good player, good all-round player. And number 8 will be Harbhajan Singh. So that gives me the variety of he rounds my team with off spinner, and I have Tahir as my leg spinner and Jadeja as my SLA. So that will be three variety of spinners that I get. And number 11 will be Lungi Ngidi, who will be my death bowler along with Deepak Chahar and Van Bravo, one each. So Ngidi will bowl 17th and 20th over, with 18th and 19th being Bravo and Chahar. So new ball will be taken by Harbhajan Singh and Deepak Chahar again. So this will be my 11.
Okay.
I have all good 6 sub bowling options. If you include Jadhav, then it will be 7 bowling options. And I have all variety SLA, offie, and leggy. So this is what Dhoni loves to do with rich resources of bowling varieties, so that he can use matchups. Whether a left-hander comes, he can you go for Harbhajan Singh, and if a right-hander comes, he can go for Tahir and Jadeja. So that's how he works. So this will be my preferred 11.
Okay. So I'll just move to my last 4. So obviously Jadeja moves in at 8, and then I have Imran Tahir, Lungi and Gidi, and Deepak Chahar. So I've actually kept not included Piyush Chawla or Harbhajan Singh in my 11. And just to start off, I would like to use Kedar Yadav. So I'll have Kedar Yadav, Imran Tahir, and Jadeja. Those will be my 3 spinners with Suresh Raina also there. So I think 4 spinners should be good. Uh, we uh, we can manage with that, and then Bravo, Ngidi, and Chahar can bowl. And this 11 gives me a little bit more batting because, especially given that all these batsmen are not really been playing and uh, don't have really an active cricket career going on. So I would like to start with an additional batsman. So your views on, do you think that this batting looks strong enough to manage on its own?
Yes, this batting unit is strong in my opinion, because even the last year they managed with the same batting order, and it was Dhoni who did the bulk of the job. So even if one or two batsmen in this step up, they can be a real force to reckon with. Already MS Dhoni is the sole heart and soul of CSK. There is nothing much to add in it. He can pull off anything. He just controls the game while chasing, or while defending, or while setting up a target at number 5. He just sees what to do, and how obviously I don't need to say anything about Dhoni, what a great leader of the game he is. So, and if anything goes wrong, there is always an option of bringing in Piyush Chawla in place of Imran Tahir, and bringing in Faf du Plessis, who is an all-round player as well, in place of any of an Indian batter. So there is always an option, and there is an exciting option of Sam Curran as well, who can be a pinch hitter. We saw how Punjab used in one of their games last season, where he opened the batting, and is no mug with the ball as well. He can easily crack a collapse anytime. So there's options for Dhoni, and he will definitely take this team to playoffs like he is doing all day long.
So, Billu, what's your opinion? Does this batting look good enough for you?
Yeah, Dhoni's job of hand picking has been fine for over the years, and that's why CSK being so successful throughout the years. And yeah, they always like to build the core team and to maintain it. What they didn't exactly like MI, the only the difference between us and MI will be the youngsters will be the difference, and yeah, this lineup is good, but what is the only issue will be they haven't played a lot of cricket. That's the only issue I feel. Else the batting lineup is stronger. Every players can bat, spin, and uh, they can perform decently. That's what I could say. Instead of they will perform big, that I'm not in that
Hmm.
I'm not unsure about it, but they can perform decently and they can win half of the matches and can definitely qualify for playoffs. That's for sure.
Mhm. So another problem that I feel would be there for them would be that their opening batsmen are not really big hitters, at least Watson and Raidu. So I think they will find it hard to uh, have that blast in the first 6 overs and have a good start. So again, it will come down to MS and the lower middle order to uh, give them those final few overs where they can reach a decent total. And obviously they have the bowlers to defend, uh, but I think that one point would be a little bit of concern for them.
Well, I have an opinion, and during these kind of situations, exactly in UAE, we can't find a lot of runs in middle overs because for the past few years we can't see able to much 200 plus scores and 180 plus scores. 160, 140 being a pass score, so we expect a lot in power plays, and what you said is actually correct. We can't expect a lot from Raidu as well, and if we consider for going for adding more runs in power plays, and then I frame to a different batting lineup, which is many people likes to want that just bring in current to the top order, and uh, Chawla coming in place of Imran Tahir will be a bit salty, but it will bring the variety as well. That's my opinion.
Okay. So I like that idea of Karan opening, and if he can replace, let's say, a Watson, then they don't really need to change the remaining 11 also. Uh, so Karan can open, give them a very brisk start, and then they can take it from there. So that could be a good option if they would like to try it. So we'll have to see that. So another player that we can discuss is Santner. Do you think he can fit somewhere in the team?
Yes, I don't think he will be a sure starter, but be an option for Dhoni if someone gets injured in the middle. But Santner is an excellent T20 bowler. I would rate him as the best SLA in the world in T20s at the moment. If you see, if you go around the world, there is hardly quality SLAs in the world. Santner is right up there, and he's the best SLA, and they bought him for very less amount. But although he won't exactly fit in their team as a sure starter, Chandler can add more, variety to their dynamic. He can change the dynamics of the team. If he was in some other team, then he would have been in a position where he would have played all the 14 games. But in a team like CSK, where Dhoni doesn't like to change the team more often, so he has to wait for his chances. But whenever he gets a chance, he can definitely, do the restricting job to perfection.
So they can, if I look at the Billu squad, where there are already two leg spinners, there I think a Santner can come in place of, let's say, an Imran Tahir, and that could also look like a good squad.
Mm, yeah, it will be a good option though. But what I feel is having a two left arm spinners, and it will help definitely in spin pitches. But before the match, we can't predict that much. So I feel safe to go for the strike bowlers, and leg spinners are always being the strike bowlers. So that's why I included Piyush Chawla and Imran Tahir in the same 11.
Hmm. Agreed. And another leg spinner they have is Kan Sharma. So I think he has been waiting for his chances, but he doesn't really get a lot of games, and he's a good leg spinner, but somehow cannot find a place in the 11. And I remember last year also he played a few games and did not bowl in at least one of them. So that is something that.
Yes, that's how Dhoni operates, right? He doesn't just play or give overs to the players he playing in the 11 just for the sake of playing. He just looks for matchups. If two left-hand batsmen are in the crease, then Dhoni can even under bowl Jadeja, and Jadeja can even finish the match without bowling even a single over. So that's why I said Dhoni loves variety, and that's why in my squad I have offie, leggy, and SLA, so that he can throw in whichever he can, throw in matchups to whichever batsman is at the crease. He can counter any batsman, any good batsman with the matchup. So that's why I went for Harbhajan Singh. I know Harbhajan Singh is a finished product, but him in power play is still a force to reckon with, and he did an excellent job last year as well, except for the game where Rahul took away, took him to cleaners. Except for that, Harbhajan Singh was bowling very well last season as well.
Right. And uh, okay, so another player that they have is Hazelwood. So I think he would be probably a backup for Ngidi, and he might not get a lot of games if Ngidi starts performing from the word go.
Yeah, he's ideal replacement for Ngidi, and definitely he's been a good pick, and he performed decently it is in Big Bash League too, and I hope he will get few chances, but not in all 14 games, considering the way Ngidi played in 2018.
Yeah, I think they would start with Ngidi, and then in case Ngidi is not able to perform or something like that, then only Hazelwood gets a look in.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I think Shardul Thakur is would be a backup for Deepak Chahar. and he would probably come in as and when they want to rest or change Deepak Shah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And another player that I see in their squad is Monu Kumar. So, any views on him? Any of you? No.
I, he's a decent fast bowler, and I haven't seen him perform him a lot, even in SMAT or in Vijay Hazare and any domestic formats. Let's say, uh, I hope he would be like not only Monu Kumar, even KM Asif as well. They will be if so they will be coming for a backup and backup for backups. That's how I would say.
Yeah. So maybe when CSK has qualified and there are still a few games remaining, they might get a chance. But otherwise, I think they are in for just the experience and becoming better players for future years. Yeah. Okay. And then there is another one, Saikishore. I think he also falls into that same category.
Yeah, he's also, in my opinion, he's also having a good talent, and he also performed well in the last SMAT, and he was also certainly a good guy. And I feel if he can make it in the squad, unless Jadeja gets injured, and if you're looking to make the core Indian matchup, so Sai Kishore will be in form.
Saikishore was a very good, had a very good TNPL and Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. His numbers were extraordinary, and that's why he got picked in CSK at first place. So, he is definitely an option, and he can bat as well. And he proved what a vital cog he can be in the power play overs, which is a very rare thing. So I don't mind him having in place of Harbhajan either. He's a very good SLA, and with the new ball, he proved brilliantly in both TNPL and SMAT. So that can do him a world of favor, and he can even play 2 or 3 games as well.
Okay. And I would say they do not really have a backup for MS Dhoni, and nobody can be actually a backup for MS Dhoni. But they do have a keeper, and I don't think that even he would expect to get a game. So we can just hope that he just gets a good experience and maybe prepare for the next few years. Right. So now we move on to let's say the broader picture. Does anybody doubt the fact that CSK would be able to qualify for the playoffs?
No, I have no doubt. But as a cricket fan, if you have to see from a normal perspective, taking out the Dhoni factor, if I'm new to cricket and I am seeing this squad and comparing it to the other 7 squads, then obviously no one will say that this team is going to qualify for playoffs. That's a giveaway. With this team, no one can qualify for the playoffs. That everyone can say. But since we know, those who follow cricket can know what Dhoni is going to make, what Dhoni is going to do on the field, which no other captain can even imagine. Then that's another situation where no one can judge anything of on based on their past results, because Dhoni has proven time and again that with any team he can qualify for the playoffs if he is captaining Chennai Super Kings, and the conditions are even more suited to them this year. So I don't see them not making playoffs. They I don't say they have the team to make the playoffs, but they have the captain to take them to the playoffs.
Right. Billu, your views?
Yeah, as a fan, we want my team. I want my team to go for playoffs, and they will definitely go for it. And he will guide our team to playoffs. And what happened in 2018 was the best example. Uh, Watson and Ryder were the majority players who stepped up in almost all the games by contributing few, and the and other players who performed exceptional in the matches, who also won man of the matches. That's a proof. And considering 2019, Dhoni was the only factor we qualified for playoffs, so I am not regretting that. And I want CSK to perform like what they did in 2018.
Yeah. So do you think that it it has been a maybe a boon for CSK that almost all teams now come into the IPL without much practice, which was actually the case for their players. But now, due to the COVID situation, it's now true for everybody. So that gives them an added advantage there.
Yeah, any games with any matchups with Dhoni diet lineup, we will definitely qualify for playoffs. The only factor we need to take care is Dhoni should not get injured and go out of playing level, because there is not a certain a good backup for a captain. And Suresh Raina, concerning about him, he can do at his best, he can do 40-60 in my opinion.
40-60 would mean?
Yeah, win-loss percentage.
Okay.
The chances of win-loss percentage.
Okay, got it.
And unless if he performs at his best.
Billu, we lost you.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
I meant is, unless Dhoni gets injured and Raina taking over the captaincy and he's performing at best, the results will be maximum at 40-60.
Okay, got it. So another factor that I think the emotional thing that also works for them is that now that they have retired and announced retirement, that emotion of the fan also will help take this team forward and give them that morale boost that they need to. Dhoni again needs to prove that and those kind of things. So that I think will also work for them.
Dhoni has nothing to prove to anyone actually. He has proved enough, and we all know what he can do. So but he will take this seriously as usual, and he will do what he's been doing all this long.
Yeah, but he cares about the fans, and the fans have now become so emotional that now he needs to give them another title. That is what he would probably feel, because now he'll not play for India, so he might as well just give them another title this year. And this with UAE conditions, which actually suit them completely, I think they have a very decent chance of doing that.
Yeah, despite the form, experience gives us a lot, and that's what a big positive for us. In the dead tracks, I hope that our experienced player will step up and wins matches for us.
Yeah. So another general question which has been probably discussed a lot of times, I would again want to take it up, that what is it about Dhoni that actually makes it possible? How is it that he can take this team, which nobody else can do, and still take them to playoffs? Is it the repo? Is it knowing the players well? Or is it just his knowledge of the game that he can do it on his own?
If you ask me as a fan, only Dhoni knows.
Yeah, but still, see, we have seen him so many years. So one thing that I would probably say is that he understands each and every player. So his relationship with each and every player and his abilities, and where he can perform and where he would not be able to perform, is unmatched. So because he knows that, and also given that the players are very experienced, they don't really need to have that mentorship or those kind of things. And uh, what I heard was that they are left on their own, and they just asked to take care of their fitness. So that also that's a very different setup from all other teams, where you have uh, a very rigorous training schedule, a rigorous planning that happens. So that is something that is missing from CSK, and Dhoni takes it on himself to maybe I don't know whether he plans it prior to the match, or he just says that things that I'll see how the situation goes, and I will take a decision there itself. So do you guys think that he would be doing a lot of planning?
Yes, obviously, without planning, we wouldn't see this team making consistently playoffs. So see, just imagine whether any other captain can take this team, this particular 11 to playoff. No one can do, because no one has the ability to do that. Only he can get the best out of everyone, and he knows whom to use at when, which kind of situation. That's all makes him special, and that cannot be done on field. It has to be some massive planning behind the scenes, which we don't know, and that's how he has been. That's why he has been successful.
Yeah, exactly what you said is about when it comes to planning. Yeah, even he too has said that the process is more important than the results. So he would definitely plan a lot, and he knows how he wants the matchups. So yeah, if we look at the even the squad, despite we are looking at the playing 11, we have a proper backups for each and every players, and that's why. Yeah, if without Dhoni we can't qualify to playoffs. That's one thing, and except the captain, we have a good backup for us.
Yeah. And I think the 3-4 number players, Raina and Yadav, would also become critical because I think they need to perform well. Uh, Especially Raina needs to have another 400, 500 run season because he becomes critical in this relatively weaker batting lineup. So that would also be important. And Jadav has been a good player for them, and he needs to continue that and not get injured like he's susceptible to. Because I don't see any uh, proper replacements for the middle order for them.
Yeah, unless CSK is not CSK players are not performing to their utmost potential, then the playoff chance will be a concern.
Yeah, but
They
let's
need to
hope.
step.
Yeah, please.
Yes, they need to step.
Yeah, I think step up is actually important. So we all hope that uh, given a Dhoni, that CSK would be able to qualify. And because when you see this team and this team is able to qualify, it actually uh, excites the fans as well. Uh, this team not performing would have been the normal course, and everybody would have said that yeah, that is what is expected. But with this team being able to perform and uh, prove everybody wrong, that is what makes it special, and that makes IPL also special. So right, I think we'll close it here. Thanks, Billu, for coming on our podcast and sharing your views. And Bala, thanks to you as well for being a constant on our podcast series. And we hope that CSK can again prove everybody wrong and win this one for Dhoni.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the opportunity, and finally I have made my debut in podcasting.
yeah, so we look forward to having you again during IPL as well. So okay, thank you, Bala. Thank you, Billu.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi guys, and welcome to part 2 of the CSK squad analysis. We recorded the first episode on August 16, and lot has changed since then. Raina, Mr. IPL, has pulled out of the entire season of IPL, which creates a huge hole in the CSK middle order. Also, Harbhajan may not be available for the initial part of the IPL. So we have a relook at the teams we made earlier and try to see what changes we can make to the 11. Unfortunately, our guests are not able to join us for part 2. So I'm joined by my co-founder Yasir for this
Hi
discussion.
guys.
Hi Yasir.
Hi Sunit.
So
So I have
big news.
the big news and I have to fill big shoes of Billu, but yeah, I'll try my
And
best.
Bala.
And Bala, yes.
So, as everybody has now heard, Raina has actually pulled out of IPL for the entire season due to personal reasons. And he has actually tweeted today uh, informing the fans about the attack on his family, and two of the family members have actually died. So, I think we have to give him that space, and CSK also would definitely support him in that. So we thought we'll just have a short discussion to add on to our previous podcast, where we try to see what combinations can now CSK look at. Obviously, nobody can really replace Raina. He's the second highest scorer in of all time in IPL, and has been like a 300, 400 run bank for CSK. So uh, they will actually feel his absence. But Dhoni, being Dhoni, can still actually carry the squad into the playoffs. So let's just have a look what all his options are. So I will probably start with the 11 that I made, and I'll try to uh, tell what changes I would like to make in my 11 due to this new development. So this is what I would like to do in my 11. Uh, I would like to bring in Sam Curran to open the innings with Shane Watson, and then drop Raturaj Gaikwad from the opening slot to number 3. The rest of my 11, the middle order and lower middle order remains same, and because now I have an extra foreign player in the top order, I need to drop either Imran Tahir or Lungi Ngidi. So I've decided that s- uh, since this bench strength for spinners is really great for CSK, so they can easily replace Imran Tahir, and they can bring in Piyush Chawla. The other option they have is Karn Sharma also, and so maybe they can look at that as well. But for now, I would probably start with Piyush Chawla. So, secondly, since Bala could not join us, we took his views of what he would want to do with the team, and he has graciously told us what he would actually want. So, he would like Faf to come in and open with Watson, and then Raidu drops at number 3. And since now he also has 2 foreign players opening, so he has decided uh, he would prefer that Lungi Ngidi gets dropped, and Shardul Thakur comes in his place. Obviously, here also Harbhajan is there, so who might not be available for the initial part. So CSK have enough options in the form of Piyush Chawla, Kan Sharma, and others who can come in for Harbhajan. So, what views would you have? Let's say if we ask you in the Billu squad, what are
Right.
the kind of changes that CSK can look at?
So, in Billu's squad, what probably I'm just thinking is that I'll give 3 options depending on different combinations, and we can discuss all the 3 options, the merits and the demerits of each of them. Now, the first option which I possibly see happening is again in line with what Bala has mentioned, is have bring in Faf. Faf is a trusted hand of Dhoni. I mean, he may or may not have played in all the matches, but he's that he's the dependable, consistent performer, the sort of player that Dhoni prefers. So Faf comes in, so that takes care of the batting in terms of strength, and Faf is a good enough player, plays spin very well. And however, the sacrifice that I'll be doing is drop Ngidi and replace Ngidi by Thakur. I mean, Tahir, I wouldn't want to remove because Tahir is a excellent leg spinner, attacking leg spinner. He has experience of playing in UAE conditions, has played matches for in PSL. So Tahir continues, but Ngidi gets dropped and Thakur comes in. Thakur has done a reasonable job, and we all know with Dhoni, he is able to bring out the best even in the fringe players. So Faf and Thakur would be the first option.
So
The
that
other,
has already been given by Bala.
yeah,
So you
similar
would
to,
agree with him.
yeah, yes, very. I think that would probably be the first playing 11 as well.
Okay.
The other option is that we go with sort of a younger player. So have Gaikwad coming in for Raina. while Gaikwad is relatively an inexperienced, but he has some body of work that shows that he'll do well at this level. A little more conservative option would be to just bring in Mulli Vijay and drop Raidu to 3, and then the rest of the team continues as it is. But we are not privy to the performance of players in the nets, but if Mulli Vijay is striking the ball well, then maybe that is one option worth exploring. But somehow I feel that it will be unlikely.
Okay.
And the third option, which is left field kind of a selection, and while it uh, may not be something that happens, but considering that Dhoni likes players who bat, who can bowl, there is one option of bringing in Santner. So in case of bringing in Santner, obviously he's a leg spinner, but he's also a handy batsman. So if I bring in Santner, then Santner comes in for Raina. May not be at that position, but as a replacement. And Ngidi gets replaced by Thakur. So I have a bowling option. Then I have Santner does give you some batting, and then I have we basically batsman bowlers at 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you have Bravo, you have Santner, you have Deepak Chahar, and then you have Thakur. All four of them are handy with the bat, and obviously they are good enough bowlers as well. Sunit?
Yeah. So if you see the screen, have I captured your 11, the last option clearly, right?
Yeah,
So you
so
have
it's
Jadhav will now
yeah.
bat at 3 for you.
Yeah, so Jadhav bats at 3. I mean, there is an option of using Santner as a floater, uh, and because he's also a left-hander, so that gives you the option of disturbing the length of the opposing team. But yeah, most probably then Jadhav bats at 3, Dhoni comes at 4, and then the rest of the team.
So who would be at 10 and 11? I missed that.
That would be Chawla and Tahir will be there.
Okay. So this is a quite an unconventional kind of squad where you have actually gone in with another extra all-rounder.
Right.
So my opinion is that even in these original squads, the discussion we had was that I thought that the batting looked thin previously only. So
Right.
option 4 would actually make their
Make it
batting much
very
more
thin.
fragile.
Yeah.
So he might not actually go for that, but other options in terms of let's say just bringing in Murli Vijay or Gaikwad can actually work uh, without because that would not require a lot of changes in the strategy of the team. And Vijay is also a trusted kind of a player for Dhoni, and he actually gives him some 2-3 games every season, and he performs for them in those games. So he has not actually disappointed them. But again, Gaikwad is a really good option, and Srinivasan has actually taken his name in the news that he would, with Raina gone, he would get opportunities and he might play for the entire season.
While I agree with you on all these points, I just feel that possibly that Faf and Thakur combination could be the first playing 11. But yeah, I mean, this all remains to be seen. There are so many things that are changing every day that we really don't know what happens by the time we reach game time.
Yeah, and especially given COVID and given that 12, 13 members had actually tested positive.
Yes.
So there can be a chance that some other players also contact the virus, and then the
Right.
combination also might get changed.
So
But
yeah.
please.
No, I was just saying that you would remember, Suni, that when we were discussing right in the first podcast, we were talking about PSL. I mean, about the UAE conditions and all those things, and then we discovered the mental aspect of the game because of lockdown. There could be issue because of quarantine. There could be issues in terms of players mentally, whether they'll be okay or they'll not be okay, how much flexibility they'll have with or without their families, etc. So that is now really coming into picture with Raina pulling
Raina,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, with Raina pulling out now, uh, with other players, including Hazelwood, saying that they will have to look at this option. So there are so many things. I just read an article today where Paddy Upton was saying that this will be a common phenomena this season. I mean,
yeah,
players may not pull out, but it could affect their performance. So players who depend on outside energy for
yeah,
their performance may not do that well. But players who are little more inward looking but are strong, they could probably have a better season. So this will be one interesting thing that we'll see
yeah.
this.
And Kohli also got interviewed in that RCB videos that come out.
Right, right,
And he said that there could be some kind of uncomfortable feeling when the initial part of IPL starts. But
right,
after that, he emphasized on the fact that everybody should start remembering their Ranji days instead
right,
of the last 6 7 years
right.
where they have actually played in front of the crowds,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that will actually give them that mental comfort that
right.
they have actually done this before. So all these mind conditioning of your mind becomes
Yes,
actually very
this will
important.
be crucial, I think, this season.
So I think we'll have lots to talk about
Yeah, yeah.
as we reach the starting of the IPL. And uh, what we are planning is that we'll do like a IPL roundup either weekly or twice a week, as and when we have news for our viewers and developments that we can discuss. So I hope that our listeners would enjoy those as well.
Sure.
So thank you, Yasir.
Thanks,
Uh,
Sunit.
this completes our analysis of
Yeah,
all 8 IPL teams now.
yeah.
And I like to tell our viewers that when we started this, our focus was not just coming up with the 11, but also we wanted to just discuss various strategies and the entire squad that
Right,
each team is carrying, so that somebody who's listening to our podcast gets to understand all the different options that a team has, all the different knows all the players that are there apart from the first 11. So I think uh, we we have got positive feedbacks, and we hope that our viewers keep on enjoying our podcast.
and Sunit, I mean, getting in people, like, I mean, like we discussed, getting in people with different views has also, I mean, it enriches the discussion, and we have seen that. I mean, people coming with different perspectives, diverse views, and we have a larger discussion that happens. So I am sure we'll keep doing that going forward.
Yeah. So we'll thank all our viewers for watching our podcast,
Thank you,
and
guys. Yeah,
request them to subscribe to our channel as well as our Twitter handle, so that
yeah.
they keep getting informed of all our future videos. And again, thank you to everybody, and we'll see you soon.
See you. See you. Bye.
Bye.